Today, we're going to dig into a character you've known your entire life, but maybe you haven't ever really thought about them. We're talking about the simple, the humble, and the surprisingly powerful archetype of the poor woodcutter.
It really all starts with just a few simple words. A poor woodcutter. I mean, that phrase feels as old as storytelling itself, doesn't it? But it's so much more than a description. It's an invitation. It's like a key that unlocks a very specific kind of world.
And the crazy thing is, as soon as you hear that opening line, you do know this story. You can almost instantly picture it, right? The little cottage, the deep dark woods, the simple clothes. Our brains have been trained since we were kids to know exactly what kind of journey we're about to go on.
But here's the real question. It's not about what happens in the story, but why this exact character gets chosen to kick things off, time and time again, across so many different cultures and centuries. Why him? What is it about the woodcutter that makes him so essential to the tale?
So let's do exactly that. Let's deconstruct this classic character and really see what makes him tick. We're going to look at the machinery that's working just beneath the surface of that simple, familiar opening line.
And I mean, look at the sheer range here. It's incredible. We see the woodcutter in Aesop's fables in ancient Greece. We see him with the Brothers Grimm in Germany, all the way over in Japanese folklore with stories like My Lord Bag of Rice, and of course with Hans Christian Andersen in Denmark. This guy is everywhere. He's truly a global character. Now, this isn't just random. It's not like storytellers through the ages were just lazy and kept reusing the same character. No way. The repetition of the poor woodcutter is actually a clue. It tells us that he's a kind of narrative technology, a tool that's perfectly designed to do a very specific job in a story. So how did this character become such a powerful storytelling tool? Well, to understand the fairy tale, we actually have to look at the harsh reality he was born from. We need to take a look at what life was really like on the edge.
And this comparison really shows the massive gap between the fiction and the reality.
In all the stories, he's noble, he's virtuous, living this simple life in harmony with nature. But historically, being a woodcutter was absolutely grueling, dangerous work, usually reserved for the most marginalized people in society. It was a job for people who had no land, no other options. They were often social outcasts, living on the literal and figurative edge of town. So here's the crucial point. His poverty isn't just some sad backstory detail. It's the engine that drives the whole plot. His desperation, his lowly place in the world, that's what makes him the absolute perfect hero for a story that isn't about gaining power or riches, but about testing someone's character.
And that leads us right to the woodcutter's main function in pretty much every single one of these tales. He exists to face a moral test. He's a character who is literally built to stand at a crossroads and make a crucial choice.
And that choice almost always follows this classic formula. First, it starts with him just doing his everyday job, right? Chopping wood. Then, bam, a supernatural encounter. He finds a golden axe, or he meets a forest spirit. This moment presents him with a clear choice. Are you going to be honest, or are you going to be greedy? Kind, or cruel? And finally, the story delivers a very clear verdict. A just reward for being good, or a punishment for being bad. I mean, really think about that for a second. Because he has nothing. No money, no status, no power. His decision can't be strategic. He can't bribe his way out of a problem or use his influence. The choice he makes is a pure, unfiltered reflection of who he is on the inside. His integrity is the only currency he has. Okay, but to fully get a handle on the woodcutter, we have to understand his domain, his office, if you will, the forest. The symbolism of this setting is every bit as important as the character himself.
In mythology and folklore, the forest is what's known as a liminal space. Now, that's just a fancy term for a place that's on a threshold, a kind of borderland. It's not quite the safety of the village, and it's not quite the total chaos of the magical realm either. It's the space between.
So, the forest is this place where the rules of the normal world can bend and break. It's a place of danger, for sure, but also a place of transformation and magic. And the woodcutter, the guy who spends all of his days there, he's more than just a worker. In a way, he's the gatekeeper. He is the ordinary man who holds a pass to an extraordinary world. All right, let's bring all these threads together. Let's finally answer that big question we started with. Why does this character, this simple archetype, have such incredible staying power? Why does this tale endure? Well, it's because he represents so many powerful ideas all at once. First, he's the common person, the everyman.
we can all see a little bit of ourselves in. His story is a pure test of character, one that teaches us that integrity is worth more than all the gold in the world. He proves that true nobility isn't about your family name or your bank account. It's about the choices you make. And finally, he's our symbolic link to the wild, mysterious world of nature and the unknown.
So I'll leave you with this to think about. If the poor woodcutter is this humble hero living on the edge of society, who gets tested by extraordinary circumstances, who is that character in our stories today? Is it the struggling single parent? The overlooked janitor in a high-tech lab? The rookie cop on their first day? If you look closely, I guarantee you'll see the woodcutter is still with us. He's just wearing different clothes.